Yep. There we go.
All right, cool. Well, yeah, thanks. I appreciate you making time here, Terry.
No, thank you. Thanks for having me. It's great.
So you are in Australia. So right now, as
I
we
am.
record this, it is Wednesday afternoon, about 4 p.m. my time in Washington
Yes.
State on the western coast of the US. And where are you?
So I'm New South Wales. We are on Thursday, 9 a.m. So yes, I'm in a little village down the south coast of New South Wales, which is about 5 hours south of Sydney, I suppose.
Okay.
Yeah, surrounded by water. Beautiful little village down here. Yeah, it's
Oh
really
man, that's
nice.
nice. I've been to Australia a handful of times. I've been
Oh, cool.
to Brisbane several times,
Lovely.
Sydney a few times, and then I made my way out to Perth.
Okay, nice. I've actually never been to Perth.
Oh yeah,
So
Perth is cool.
yeah, it is cool. Yeah,
Perth
yeah.
Perth gave me an appreciation for just how big Australia is probably
Oh,
my ignorance as an
huge.
American because like I had some horrifically long flight to Sydney
Oh,
from LA that was like
yes.
whatever it was, 15 hours. And we land in Sydney and they're like, okay, it's like another 5 hour flight to Perth. I'm like,
Yeah.
what? Are you kidding me?
It's so far to get everywhere. And where I live in quite a remote area. So for us, it takes hours and hours to get absolutely anywhere.
But you live near the
So
beach?
yeah, we're really close to the beach. Yeah, yeah, we can walk to the beach. So that's nice.
That's not
Yeah,
bad at all.
yeah. It's good for the
Because
kids. They
you're
love it.
the weather's usually opposite here, right? So we're just kind of
Yes.
entering spring. What season is it for you guys?
Yeah, we're just entering winter. So I think yeah, in the next couple of days. So, but we don't get super cold down here. It's not too bad.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's nice. Okay, that's
yeah,
cool. Are
not
you,
too bad.
does your family just love the water, or is it you get used
Yes.
to it and you're not much into it anymore?
Oh, well, I moved away for kind of 10 years and moved to the city. So I suppose when I was a kid, you take it for granted a little bit. But then having moved back, I love it. Like we all love it. Kids do nippers and like, which is like just a fun surf safety kind of program that they have here in Australia. And it's just, yeah, it's great. It's a big part of our lifestyle is the beach for
But
sure.
more of a small, even though you're near the water, more of a small town feel.
Yes, absolutely. Super small town. I think our kind of town and surround only has a population of about 6,000 people, like our
Oh,
whole like
okay.
large area. So yeah, we're pretty small.
And where was you for 10 years in the big city? What big
Yeah.
city?
So Canberra, so that's the capital of Australia. Not many
Okay.
people know that, but
I did
Canberra
not
is the
know that.
capital. No, everyone thinks Sydney is the capital, but Canberra is actually the capital of Australia.
Okay. And
Yeah. So that's where like a lot of our government's located and things like that. So it's the closest city from where I'm from, which is about 3 hours away. So not too bad.
was city life not for you?
Oh, it's fine. Like it was good for study. It's kind of you kind of have to if you want to go to uni and things like that. That's kind of the option. You have to move to a city. But it was good. We stayed there for about 10 years. So it was good
Okay.
for work and study. Had both of our children there. It was always the plan to move home though, for sure. Yeah.
Okay. That's yeah, I'm living near the coast or the beach would be, I think, my wife's
Yeah.
dream. She would be the
Oh,
happiest.
yeah.
Well, actually, we're not, there's a coast in the state that we live at in Washington, but it's a cold ocean and a rocky
Yeah.
shoreline. So like no one goes to the beach, even though the ocean is
Okay.
there. So it's
Yeah.
just, it doesn't really, and there, yeah, it's not when you picture the coast, it's not what you think.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Ours is probably what you do picture, the blue
Uh,
crystal clear water. It's probably
yeah, I
what you
made
do
my way
picture.
once, was it to the Gold Coast
Oh,
there?
that's nice. Yeah,
Yep.
beautiful.
Yep,
Yeah.
it was great. It was fantastic. So, and I know that Australia is just well known for what incredible surfing and sharks.
Yeah, particularly in WA. Yeah, yeah. The sharks there. Yes. Not too bad here, but
Okay,
yeah.
okay, that's good. That's good at
Yeah.
least. I don't want to mess with those guys too much. So, give us a little bit of your athletic or fitness backgrounds. You get a couple kids. I assume you've got a
Yes.
busy life. And what
Yes.
you were you sporty growing up?
Yeah, definitely. My family, we were all competitive horse riders, actually, was our
Oh,
sport
wow.
of choice. Yeah. So I kind of didn't have a choice whether I did that or not. I was born into a horse riding family and had a pony before I could walk. So so that was the vibe. So I did that all through my childhood. Up till the kind of end of school, really. Yeah. We traveled all around Australia doing competitions and yeah, that was super fun. So me and my sister and my mum and dad were all into that.
Allow me to
Um,
be totally ignorant for a second.
yeah.
So I don't know anyone who did that.
Okay, okay.
I don't have any exposure, so I don't know, like, is doing that physically demanding on the rider? Like, do you have to be in good condition? You know, what's the demands
Yeah,
of that?
totally, definitely. You have to have really good like kind of balance, which is yeah, it's important, and also pretty good leg strength,
Oh, I can,
to be
yeah.
able to like kind of make the horse kind of go and do what you want, and like bend and do all the things that they're supposed to do. Some horses can be quite strong as well, so you have to have quite good kind of, I suppose, upper body strength as well to like hold in position. But mostly, it's really good for balance.
Is there a
Yeah.
way to get good at that sport without getting tossed off a horse every now and then?
Luckily, I always had horses that were pretty calm,
Oh, good.
so
Okay.
didn't get tossed, which is nice. But that it's kind of inevitable. Yeah, I suppose you're gonna have to get tossed at some point.
That's like,
Yeah,
as the old saying goes, you got to get back on the horse.
you do. I used to have a little pony that used to like shake a lot. Like if it would have like a fly touch it or whatever, it would shake, and I'd fall off every time it did that. So that was yeah,
But
fun.
it's got to be just cool, like, to be a little girl and have your own pony. Like, that's
Oh, it
pretty.
was the dream. Yeah, yeah, it was really cool. Yeah,
And,
yeah.
and
Interesting sport. I mean, all sports have pros and cons. It was a difficult sport because you'd get to a competition, you put all this prep in, and the horse would not play dice that day and just go, I don't want to do this today. Or it's also a sport that's really based on the judge's opinion. There's no like standard really. It's just like the judge will
yeah,
say,
yeah.
look, you did great, but I don't like your horse today. So
And having
yeah,
a horse isn't like, like I have a dog that I can forget
mm,
about a little bit in the morning.
exactly.
I let him outside. He has a bowl of food and I see him at night and he's cool. Like, that's about as
Yeah.
much maintenance as is required to take care of a dog. I assume that a horse is a very high maintenance animal.
Yes, it is. So as well as looking after yourself as an athlete, you have to also look after this other animal, which is hard, and they're super unpredictable. So yeah, definitely a lot of work. Sometimes, yeah, coming home and mucking out stalls isn't exactly what you want to do after school either as a young kid.
Probably teaches some good work ethic to a
It
young kid.
does. Yeah, I think so. Absolutely.
Take
Yeah.
care of yourself and
Yeah.
take care. Okay, so you rode the horse. Now that's
Yeah. Did
a
that.
far cry from doing clean and jerks.
That's right. So yeah, I did that up until about the end of school, and then I kind of was like, oh, I don't have time to do this. I've got to focus on a bit of study. But I always said to myself, I don't want to not be an active person. Being active was such a big part of my life. So I think that's when I got my first kind of Globo gym membership, just to the local gym in town. Did kind of a lot of the Les Mills. They have those in the States, the Les Mills
Yep.
kind of classes, body pump, all those type of
Yeah.
things. Yeah, fell in love with the gym there really. And then from there, I kind of always had a gym membership. So I remember even when we moved to Canberra and I'd be moving all around the place, the first thing I would do is sign up to the gym. I wouldn't worry. I'd have no electricity in my house, but I'd have my gym membership sorted.
Get your priorities.
That was my priority, always was. Yeah, and then I had found a PT when I lived in the city who was really functional fitness based, which was really great. So that was my first kind of introduction to that type of training. I don't think CrossFit was that well known in Australia. Like it seems to have been a more of a recent phenomenon for us down
Okay.
here.
What year would that be,
Uh,
you think?
oh, that was probably around 2018,
Okay.
2017,
Okay.
2018. Yeah, I mean, I know Tia Claire Toomey was definitely doing her thing then, but it
Yeah, probably
definitely was,
growing, probably still in
yeah,
it.
it was still in its infancy. So I didn't hear about that at all when I lived in the city. But when we moved home, my Globo gym had just become a CrossFit affiliate. So that was awesome. And I tried this and I was like, this is my thing. I love this. Oh my God. Where has this been all my life? Kind of thing. Yeah. So I stayed with that affiliate for a couple of years and then just decided, okay, I want to do this at home. It's easier to kind of juggle kids and work and all of that and home
You had
setting.
two kids by this point or just one?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Two kids.
And how
Yeah.
old are your kids?
So my youngest is just turned 5 and my eldest is 7.
Okay. Oh, they're fun ages.
Yeah, it's super fun. Full
That's
on.
cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
keeps you busy for sure. And so you made the
it does.
decision that to just kind of reclaim some of your free time and,
Yeah,
take the commute out of the picture.
exactly. And my husband is into it as well. And we were just finding it a little bit hard for us both to get to kind of classes in town and things like that. It was just a bit tricky. So we're like, okay, we were lucky enough to have a shed in our backyard. So I'm like, we need to make use of this shed. Like,
For
so
sure.
yeah, yeah. So did the fit out and found Linchpin and never looked back, really. Yeah, that was about a year and a half, year ago. Yeah.
Yeah. And did you have any, it's a big fitness world out there, right? I mean, there's
Yeah.
something for everybody, whether you're just into kettlebells, you're just a
Mm.
runner. you ride horses, you just ride bikes, bodybuilding style stuff, people
Yeah.
who want to work out in a gym, people who want to work out at home. You know, that there's everything out there. You know, it's a big world. Did you, from having most of your life, it sounds like, or the recent years in the gym, did you have any fear of like, I wonder if I'm still going to have the motivation to actually work out by myself every day?
Yeah, absolutely. That was definitely something I thought of. And not having a coach like right there with me too was a bit like
Mm-hmm.
I was worried. I was like, how am I going to improve without someone there coaching my every move? But I think what helped was I don't train alone. So I have hubby comes out. We both get up 5 o'clock every morning and do our thing.
Oh,
We also have
dedicated.
enough.
5
Yeah,
a.m.,
yeah.
huh?
It's got it. It's otherwise I don't get it in. It's got to
Good
be
for
early in the
you.
morning. Got to be early. And we also have another friend who is a Linchpin member as well, who trains with us most mornings
Okay.
as well. So that helped. And she's a CrossFit level 1 coach, actually. So that it
Got a good
helps to have
crew.
someone. Yeah.
And so, okay, that kind of took care of the motivation deal. And what was the other part that you said there? It was two parts. One was working by yourself, and one was ah, it's gone now. I had it, but it's absolutely gone. Well, how in the world, with everything that's out there, did you find Linchpin?
Yeah, I did I was really thorough with my research about what programming I wanted to use. I think I had an Excel spreadsheet going actually for a while.
No kidding. Good
But
for
yeah,
you.
yeah. I found my coach from my old affiliate recommended me to have a look at Linchpin. He must have
Okay.
heard of you. And then I found an old Reddit forum on Linchpin. I think a few people I've seen in the Facebook group mention this Reddit forum that gives a really good kind of review summary of Linchpin, and it just sounded perfect. I think what I love about the programming is that respecting the heavy days and kind of that mix of both of everything. It gives me the best of both worlds, and I prefer it to any previous training the programming I followed at the affiliates I've been at for sure.
Well, that's coming. Certainly cool to hear that. Yeah, we just try to do we just do what works, right? They don't even have any
Yeah,
particular. That's the only thing that we have allegiance to. Is
yeah.
does it work? If it works, we'll continue to do it. If not, we'll get rid of it. So your shed that you've got, is it
Mm.
a like a minimalist sort of setup? And do you have like a whole bunch of kit in there? Is it just some dumbbells? You know, what have you got? What have you accumulated?
Yeah, we've definitely built it up over time. So yeah, it's pretty good. We've got most things. I'm pretty lucky. We've got so during COVID, we started kind of collecting a few things like everyone I think did to be able to
Hmm.
work out during the lockdowns. Not that we had it too bad here. But yeah, I've got kettlebells, dumbbells, some cardio equipment, which is great. I've got a rig that's outside, which is
Oh,
awesome.
nice.
Yeah, it's good. Yep. With a rope on it, which I don't use as often enough. Yeah, all the things really, weight plates, good selection of that. A GHD machine we got, that was our most recent addition, which has been fun. Yeah, it's cool.
And how have you found, being out there on your own, you get the content every day, you get the daily videos. Is there any bit of a struggle to figure out on your own, should I do the regular version? Should I do the wild card? Should I do the scaled? Should I mix one of those up and come up with my own creation? What's been your journey of kind of figuring that stuff out?
Yeah, I think it's been an interesting one. Initially, I was like, okay, I have to RX every day, obviously. That's the only option,
Obviously,
right?
obviously, of course.
But I think I think you talk about increasing that fitness knowledge. I feel like we've done that a lot now, and we know if we're feeling a bit sore in one way, or we've like, for instance, we did Murph, right? A couple of days
Hmm.
ago. I was not feeling like I could really do anything the days after Murph. So we were able to use that like fitness IQ and be like, okay, like double unders aren't going to suit me well. I'm too sore. So I'm just going to do single unders today.
That's
I'm going to
awesome.
keep the weight a bit lighter than the normal, use body weight stuff a bit more. So I just feel like, yeah, I've definitely increased my fitness IQ around that type of thing, which has been really good. Yeah.
That makes me super happy. And you've got a couple people you work out with, which is great. So
Yeah.
is that able to fill your cup, so to speak, on the community side of the house, or do you find yourself poking around in the Facebook group or the squads featuring the BTW app, or are those you don't pay much attention to those? You get your little crew in the morning.
No, all of the above, definitely. I think
Okay.
I am. an extrovert by nature. So I love the Facebook community. Everyone's so motivating, and it's just cool to see people's stories and how they've gone in the workouts. And yeah, it motivates me. Some days I'm like, oh, no, I don't want to train, but I'll see someone has posted, oh, I just did this workout and got a massive PR. And I'm like, I'm going to go try and do that. So I do love that. And then, yeah, I can't not get up if, Claire's coming to my house at 5:30 in the morning, knocking on my door. So it's kind of,
Yes.
it's really good to have that sense of community, because that was one of the things I suppose I was also a bit concerned about leaving an affiliate. You do
I
miss
hear that
out
a
on that
lot.
community. Yeah, oh, for sure. It's because that's part of one of the best parts of CrossFit, I think, is that community that you build.
Shared
And
suffering.
I loved that. I loved that in my affiliate in Maria, for sure. But yeah, I think that all of the resources we have, the Facebook group, the squads feature, all of that kind of it fills that void for sure. Yeah.
And there's just people in that group of like all ages, all body types, all
Yeah.
athletic ability levels. Like it is pretty interesting. There was somebody I got what is today? So tomorrow I'm gonna do the Ask Me Anything. There's somebody I've got to give a shout out in the that I saw in the private Facebook group. Um, even after this many years of CrossFit, every now and then, you see a lot of CrossFit, you're like, okay, yep, good lift, good whatever, good,
Mm.
and every now and then you see something that you're like, even after years, you're like, whoa, that's
Yeah.
really impressive. I saved it on my phone. I'm going to mention it tomorrow, but I got to mention it just now because it blew me away. It was after Murph, um, gentleman Brian M. He
Mhm.
did Murph, he is an airline pilot, was in some other country, flew back, like, jet lag, didn't get great sleep, the whole nine
Wow.
yards. And he did Murph prescribed in a 20-pound vest
Oh,
in 56 minutes and 26 seconds, which is a fantastic time.
man, that's good.
He's 61 years old.
Oh my God. See, that's the goal. Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. Like
yeah, yeah,
a sub 1 hour Murph
yeah. That's
in a
insane. Oh
20
my
pound
God.
vest at 61 years old. Are you
That's,
kidding me?
yeah. And that's the goal. I think I see those masters athletes, and I'm like, that's why I'm doing that, to be
A
able to run around and do that at
a
61. That's
hundred
incredible.
percent. Like, and that's like also what I love the with regards to the community that we built there is like I don't want to, there's being 61 and being able to do that because you've taken good care of your knees, back, and
Mm,
shoulders, and there's being
mm.
61 and just living in chronic pain. And
Yes.
I want to be fit and my joints still feeling good because we didn't do dumb stuff just for Instagram. Like
Absolutely,
there's a
absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
you're
And I found that I'm feeling so much better since I've been like, because I don't love the affiliate kind of programming of let's do a really heavy lift and then let's go into a Metcon. That wasn't my favorite.
no,
So that
sadly
felt
it's
like
pretty common though.
it is. And I understand why they have to do it that way, because you've got to,
Affiliate owners have a
appease,
tough job.
yeah, you've got to appease the masses, really. And a lot of people, that's the people that are coming in, say, twice a week, they want to get both of those things in.
Right.
You
Yep.
need to do it. But I
Exactly.
definitely love that, yeah, not having that element anymore. I feel better in all my joints, and my lifts have gotten better. Everything's improved too.
Well, that's
So,
fantastic. Do your two kids watch what you and your husband do and mimic it a bit, or what's their?
absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah, so they
really?
did we set them up mini Murph on the weekend so they
Oh,
could
that's
do that, which
amazing.
was really cute. Yep. So they did little mini runs and like ring rows, and my girls love gymnastics. So they was my daughter was doing kipping toes to rings the other day, and I actually had to be like, can you show me how to do that? I actually can't. And she was doing it perfect form, keeping toes to rings. Like, it's really fun to have them involved as well.
That's
Yeah,
impressive.
yeah, it's really great. It's good for them to see. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll pass that on to the next generation. Well, maybe, we can just wrap up with, you're a great example of real life, two
Yeah.
kids trying to make it work, I have to make difficult decisions like get up at
Hmm.
5 a.m. You'd probably
Hmm.
prefer not to, but you also want to be
Absolutely.
fit, and so you got to do what it is. What would be your advice to other busy moms out there that maybe haven't made fitness? And I don't even care, like this isn't like, hey, I joined Linchpin thing. Like just, I mean, just
Yeah.
advice in general, like they're sitting on the couch listening to this and they're like, I got to make a
Mm.
change. What's your
Mhm.
recommendation?
Oh, I think for sure getting workouts in early in the morning. And I know that's hard when you're like sleep deprived. Like I get that. When the time is right, like I think during those crazy early years of being up a million times a night, you've just got to be kind to yourself and not, if it's getting
Mm-hmm.
in putting your kid in the pram and going for a walk once a day, I think that's amazing if you can do that.
Yep.
But I think once you come out of that kind of fog, it's important to kind of find you again, I think, and prioritize yourself again. Because everyone wins then. I know for me, I'm such a better mum if I've gotten my workout in. I'm a better everything. I'm better at work. I'm a better business owner. I'm better at everything
Absolutely.
if I've got my workout in. My husband will know. He'll be like, have you worked out? You haven't worked out today, have you? I can tell. Like
I'm
I
with
just,
you. It's
yeah,
my
yeah.
specialty.
Yeah, totally, totally. So I think it's really important to find something that you love and to not feel guilty because we often as mums, especially mums, I think I like kind of sometimes feel guilty for giving ourselves that time. But at the end of the day, I think yeah, it's better for everybody to find something, be active, run around with your kids, have that energy, and set that example for them too.
I couldn't agree more. There's few things that are literally like a win for everybody, but
Yeah.
fitness is one of those things that's a win for you and everybody who
Mhm.
has to interact with you during the day. It's a
Yeah.
win for them too because you're happier mentally, you feel better, like
Yeah.
it's good. But yeah, Terry, I genuinely appreciate you being in Linchpin. I appreciate you making this happen with a crazy time change from the US to Australia. And so thank you very much.
Thank you. It was
Enjoy
awesome.
the rest of your day.
You too. Thank you.